thanks, Nick, and nice to meet you all. So what I'm going to be focusing on today is basically Europe and why you should see Amazon as a borderless business. And if you are a local hero now, and if you don't go international, I'm hoping you're making some money now, because in a couple of years you won't be making money anymore, because the clients that we represent are going cross-border. And once you go cross-border, you generate more resources, and the ones with the more resources are going to win on the long term. So a little bit back about myself. I've been in the Amazon marketplace space for 12 years, always on a European level. So from Italy to Norway, from Switzerland to Ireland, basically setting up the operation so the consumer locally has the local experience, which is fundamental for long-term success, while it was managed centrally. Now, for the last 5 years, I have a company, marketplace Distri, where we offer an end-to-end solution. I call it IaaS, Amazon Infrastructure as a Service. Basically, we open up the European market in a matter of weeks and against a fraction of the cost, and being able to blitz scale. How this works, I'm going to show you in the next minutes. I'll first share my screen and quickly give you a bit of an insight on why this is an important part for your future strategy. Okay, here you see my screen, right? Let me see to do it in full screen. Should be. Are you seeing now my screen or not? With the full
No,
screen?
I don't. You should see the green button at the center, share screen.
Oh, I actually already pushed that button. I thought it was already doing that, but I'll do it again.
Okay, yeah, I see it right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now
Okay,
I should do it from here. Is it? Are you now seeing the full screen?
yes,
Yeah,
we see
right.
it. I see it
Okay,
at
so
least.
Amazon, we're an Amazon operator. We lead Amazon, as I just shared. Okay, to give a little bit of an insight, Amazon, we all know it is a beast. 1.9 million companies sell continuously on Amazon. Over 10.5 million companies sell at least once per year. They all generate, all your clients together generate over $1 billion revenue per day. But what's the problem? Less than 1% actually selling on a pan-European level. So Amazon is active in 9 countries, but basically nobody does it. So this is absolutely weird to me. Next slide. So I'm going to do, oh, boom, boom, boom. Okay. So why is Europe an important market? So in the last 2 years, Amazon launched 4 new countries: Netherlands, Belgium, Poland, Sweden. They are building warehouses completely throughout whole Europe. So it's a matter of time before another 4 countries will be opened. So if you look, when you have a ASIN that reaches a certain maturity, or your brand reaches a certain maturity, and you basically relaunch new products just to start generating more sales, you should be looking at international expansion. Because you're taking with you your reviews, you already have proof of concept on the platform, so the future is pan-European. In the markets sentiment that we are seeing today, is more important than ever that you start thinking without borders, because you're gonna have products that sell good in one country and then the same product sells bad in the other. And especially when you have a wider catalog in multiple countries, you create a sort of a stability. So you are less depending on market trends, on local market trends, you're less depending in general of the sales on trends. So you're able to create a much more stable business. Also, what we, for example, target with our clients, we say, okay, what's the revenue that you do in the US? Then let's say 80% is also the target that we set for the European market. And I expect in a couple of years, we're able to say you're able to do more than Amazon.com, simply because we are continuously launching new countries. Another part things of the European market, we have the highest spending per person. We are very much committed in buying online, and so from that perspective, you know, it's a good market to be in. But what's the issue in Europe? right? So if you look at the US, I always say US, you're a marketing game. Everybody focuses on performance, while in Europe, it's really an operating game. If you don't control the operation, you're unable to succeed. So here you see some examples, right? The number of buyers are bigger, 50% bigger. The currencies is not one, but are four. They are active in 9 countries instead of one. We're talking now about 8 languages. Why? Because Belgium recently opened and we speak Dutch and we speak French. And the VAT levels are VAT/tax levels. You have on average 3 per country. So you can imagine that's even 27. Sheets 24, my mistake. So what's the problem? As an example, Belgium recently opened. If you want to start selling in Belgium, you need a customer support that speaks Dutch and French. You need to have a local VAT number to be able to offer next day delivery. You know, next day delivery, we all know what the impact it has on the conversion. Then as well, you need a marketeer that is understanding, you know, the local trends, the local search behavior, etc. This needs to be a local person, right? You cannot find, you cannot work with a freelancer that, for example, also in school learned to speak German or French. You need to have somebody from France or from Germany active in that country. So you need a local person able to set up your campaigns, at least let's say the keyword research, do the content optimization, because then you're able to succeed. I always say there's no such thing as a European strategy. So obviously, when you then look at opening one country, you immediately start talking about a small team, team of 5, let's say. But when a country opens, there's no revenue, so you're unable to pay that team, and as well, there's no work, right? There's no full-time activity, so that doesn't really make sense. And that is basically the main reason why 99% of the brands sell in 1 and 2 or in 3 countries, and that's about it. So what is basically your opportunity? Your opportunity is basically say, oh, we're going to set up an in-house Amazon team, and that's more doable in the US than or in Australia than, for example, in Europe, because of all the local differences that you see. So to give a little bit of an insight, this is what I basically did for the majority of those 12 years. I was working as an interim manager inside companies to set up that infrastructure. And I can promise you it's a complex project for any size of company. It's costly, it's complex, and majority also is because you cannot just hire an Amazon manager, right? You need to have all the departments involved. You need to have the warehouse management system connected, the warehouse managers trained, procedures set up, the customer support needs to be trained. Your back office system back office team needs to know how the Amazon Seller Central and Vendor Central works. So what is then the difficulty, especially when you have a larger organization, is they all have to adjust their procedures towards one sales channel. And then I'll tell people, you know, you need to consider it as the largest sales channel of Europe. But at the end, people don't want to change. So setting it in-house is a very big, basically culture difference, because you need to really put the whole team, all departments, focus on recognizing that Amazon is the largest sales channel. So what the majority basically do is they work with different service providers on average, let's say 5. And you know, but often, for example, a warehouse company that was a warehouse company that also started doing something with Amazon. And like I already said in the beginning, Amazon is not a side project. You need to have a team that's 100% committed, understanding the complexity of Amazon. Then you're able to really set up a smooth operation that's controllable and avoids all kinds of chargebacks, late deliveries, and other shizzle that we all are familiar with. So these are the 2 main options that you basically see in scaling up the European market. So to give a little bit more insight about myself, I said, in this podcast, I said, okay, don't sell your business. Why I say don't sell your business? The problem is as follows: 60% of the FBA brands want to sell their business within 3 years. Huge market. So you're talking about basically hundreds of thousands of companies that are planning to be acquired. The reality is that there are, I think, around 200 aggregators in the total ecosystem right now. The total companies bought in these last almost 5 years is just a couple of thousand. So you can understand that basically it's less than 1% of the companies are actually being able to be acquired. Why do people in general want to be acquired? Because often it are product entrepreneurs and or they are entrepreneurs from a commercial perspective, but every person, also myself, has a sort of a limitation. And if you want to scale, you need to have resources, operation, knowledge about how to really blitz scale a business. So when a aggregator then comes to you and say, hey, don't worry, you're now with a team of 5, but we have the warehouse, we have the logistics, we have the marketing, we have the performance, we have the budgets to scale. Your brand is now a local hero. You're doing 500,000 euro revenue or whatever, and we're able to bring it to 15 million, and you're going to get a nice bonus after 3 years. A lot of brands see that as a good way. Well, I am actually convinced also to stimulate the other 99% that's never going to be bought. You should still develop your business, but you should scale by us. So here you see a few of the marketplaces, obviously the aggregators and other companies that have been inspired. So you have Trustio, obviously the most well-known company. Trustio says, scale with us, they have good knowledge. Then you have Pattern. Pattern is an operator and accelerator. But they're also acting as a distributor. So that means that they're taking stock risk. Merema is actually the aggregator that I like the most. As brand owner, you still have a share within the company, so you're fully committed and doing product development, while Merema is focusing on the acceleration part. So we are a little bit off the wall. We still offer the acceleration option. So we have set up the complete infrastructure to be able to scale immediately in 9 countries, but you're still 100% owner of the company. And because we are a service provider, we work on consignment. That means we are not picky upfront with which of the brands we're going to work. So basically any brand that does, let's say, more than 30K per month in US, we see also as a brand that should be able to do 30K per month in Europe. So that's basically how we are inspired. So let me give you a little bit of an insight how this further works. So if you want to sell in Europe, you need to have an importer of records. Somebody that imports the products and has a 10 years product liability. Then you need a warehouse, you need to have customs, you need to do logistics. So basically what we do, we set up a seller account that already has a legal and fiscal entity set up. We import the products under our own company name. Then you or your agency, because we also work together with agencies, or ourselves will start doing the listing. So basically you need to see yourself, okay, I have a .com seller account and I have a .eu seller account. You can manage it exactly how you manage your .com seller account with your current APIs, with your current agencies that you work with. And you're not involved in any of the local hassle. We make sure that the import is done, the compliance is done, that there's a warehouse hub, that there's a logistical hub. So on this way, you can start selling in Europe in a matter of weeks and still together with the partners that you already have been working with. So this is really the 360 approach where you can decide, I'm going to work 100% with us, or you're going to decide where you see optional. I already have my VT management company. I already have my Amazon agency. Then we can work together. But the main thing is that we do then is basically provide you that fundament to be able to directly sell in Europe without any legal or fiscal entity. So that's in a nutshell, basically who we are, what we do, and based also to give a bit of insight about the European market. So feel free to reach out if you have any further questions. For now, thank you very much for your attention.